It's Yvonne here to do the reading for the lovely sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. If you're new with me, I have been doing this for some time, most of my life. I've been reading professionally for probably a good 10 years now. If you want to join my channel, which I've had on YouTube for about 4 years, the Aussie Goddess Intuitive Tarot, I do a daily read there. Not everybody is interested in star signs. Some people want just to have a reading. So I've sort of kept it going over there and started this channel new because I had trouble with the email address on the other one. Long story, but moved over here. So today we are going to do the reading for Sagittarius, and we're going to use the Rider-Waite Tarot. Okay, so we have the Page of Cups coming through. So Page of Cups, it's always this, for me, every time I look at this card, it's a Pisces card. So you could be dealing with a Pisces. It's a love offer. When I say a love offer, remember it's only a page, so it's sort of more of a message or a very sort of small offer. It could be from somebody younger than you, but whoever this person is, they're offering you something. It could be a date or a day out, something small. I don't feel that they are in a position at this stage to offer you something more, but everything starts with small fish. And I used to joke about this all the time because you say you've got a Pisces offering you a little fish here. So we've got an offer coming through here from somebody here who is, wow, okay. I feel like this is a Pisces person, but we've got a lot of sort of hot and passionate energy coming in behind this. Sometimes when the Knight of Wands comes through, he can be a bit of a player. Maybe this is why he's only offering you something small. This is sort of maybe, you know, a token. So just be a little bit on the lookout for it. But as I always say, if you just want to fling, if you just want a one-night stand, your business. But I feel here that you may be getting an offer from somebody who maybe isn't taking things seriously. There's that immaturity. I'm going to go a little bit further. Okay. All right. As I said, it is possible that this person is only starting small, but you have the Two of Cups here. So I do feel that this could move into something more, and it does look like it is future focused. But maybe to start with, this might start off with, I almost want to say you may have a fling with this person and they may say, look, I'm not up for anything big or great. I don't want this to go anywhere. It's possible that you could get that sort of energy here. So I guess it's your choice on which way to go. I do feel this person has more intention here, but maybe it's not until after they sort of get to know you a little bit. So it's possible it could start off as a very physical sort of energy rather than an intense romance. But I feel like here you'll get what you want from it eventually. All right, maybe even commitment, because you have some sort of soul contract with this person. This for me is that card of marriage, but it's a spiritual marriage. So very often this means you're already sort of married in the spiritual realm, or, you know, as a soul. So this person may be very familiar to you. Now, I have to say there is a caution here, and now a caution. I feel like here you need to be a little bit wary of someone who is wanting a very quick physical relationship, because sometimes when people have that real player energy, they know how to woo you into a false sense of security. So somebody can almost make you feel that you're already in love with them without really, if you understand sort of this behavior, some people can love bomb you into loving them back, when in reality it's a false sense of security. So I want to say to you, if somebody's sort of talking marriage on the first date, then you're definitely dealing with somebody you don't want to be dealing with, because I feel like here you may be being almost wooed into something that you're not really sure where you're going. I have a feeling this sort of energy came through in the What's Cracking reading today. All right, so we have the High Priestess coming through. So I definitely have this feeling of trust your intuition. You know, sometimes when we can't see things clearly, we can have that sort of feeling in our gut that something isn't right. And I feel like with this High Priestess energy that perhaps things aren't all what they seem. All right, so test the waters, make sure that you are asking the right questions and watch for red flags. Okay, so I have the Five of Swords here. So there definitely is a feeling that you may walk away from this person. You may not want to. You may be very attracted to them. May be really feel like you're falling in love with them. But when the Five of Swords comes through, that's the sort of winning at all costs card. You know, it's time to sort of turn on your heel and run. Even if you don't want to leave the situation because perhaps it isn't the best situation for you. It's sort of like that, you know, winning, but not necessarily feeling good. This guy, look, he's won the battle, but he's got nobody to share it with, that type of energy. All right, and then we have a completion. So first off, before I go any further, I feel like you're meeting someone here who may appear to be only out for their own gain. I guess if you really like this person, you won't allow them to play you. But in saying that, if you really like them, you might allow them to play you, hoping that you can move them forward into another energy. Not always does that happen. You know, people will often say, you know, oh, but I thought he'd change his mind. I thought that once I'd been dating her for a while, she'd sort of decide she wanted to be with me. If people tell you right up the front they're not interested in a relationship or they're not interested in something long term, I would say heed their advice. Go into it if you want to just have a fling, but if you want something long term and a person's telling you they don't, then you need to take notice of them. It's unlikely they're going to change their mind. I do feel with this person though, that they may want something for the long term. I don't think they will tell you they don't though. So they may just be a little bit cagey about what they want here. All right, because they do see the potential in you here. But you need to be, you may be feeling this energy all lovey-dovey and, you know, ready to go and thinking this person's the most wonderful thing you've ever met. But the universe is saying to you, you need to be taking on the energy of the Queen of Swords. Ask the questions, give the direction, be straight about what you want. So if somebody's saying, you know, I just want to fling, and you don't want to fling, even if you're attracted to them, you might have to just force yourself to say no rather than sort of going into it. Because if you want a person to respect who you are, you need to be in this energy. So that's the Queen of Swords energy. So I feel like here that there is a possibility that something could eventuate from this, absolutely. But I feel that somehow or another you have to be extremely firm with your boundaries. All right, have the Page of Swords. A lot of communication going on between the two of you. We do have the Four of Wands, which is a really good sign, and we do have the Two of Wands. Although I feel like straight off with seeing that card, you might choose to go off on your own direction here. We will take some more cards to have a look at that. But straight off, I feel like here that you may choose to walk away from this person because they are not sending you the signs that you want to see, or you may be asking the questions and not getting the answers you want. You know, if you're asking questions like, you know, do you want a future, and a person's really cagey about it, then you're not getting straight answers. You want straight answers. Very strong energy here with that Empress over the High Priestess, that you need to be really true to you, really true to yourself, and really true to your gut. Now, I always say, and it came up in the What's Cracking reading today, you can't trust other people. It's just impossible to trust that everybody's going to do the right thing by you, regardless. You have to learn to trust yourself. That means asking the questions, trusting the answers you're getting, and still you don't have to go into every situation not trusting people, but knowing that you can trust yourself to make the judgment, or you can trust yourself to do the follow through. So let's have a look at this. I'm going to put some more cards on this morning. I feel like an offer is coming through, Sagittarius. You have very strong communication with somebody here who appears to be not really in a committing sort of place. I do feel that there is something going to eventuate with this, and I do feel you are moving towards a future direction. I do see a King of Cups again, which is quite interesting because that's what came out in the What's Cracking reading. So we have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. Now, don't hold too fast to the signs, because a King of Cups as an individual is a person who doesn't always show their feelings. They can be a little cold, they can be a little manipulative, but they're not very good at sort of being open with how they feel. That doesn't mean that they don't feel. It just means that they're not very good at talking about it. The masculine energy is not an energy of overly overt love. So you may be dealing with someone who is feeling the feelings. Maybe you sense that they feel a spark, but maybe you can't really see it. So ask the questions. I don't think that there are many people who will not tell you the truth at the beginning, but there are, of course, always people who will lie. So you can only trust your own judgment. But I think that a lot of the time we like people and we're sort of nervous about asking what they want. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And I did this speech on the What's Cracking reading. I feel, you know, you should be able to say to somebody right from the get-go, what are you after in a relationship? Are you after a relationship or just a fling? And, you know, like I said, the majority of people will not lie. They won't. But if you don't ask the question, you're never going to find out. And then I think then you can make the choice on whether you just want to have a fling with somebody or whether you want something more. But I feel like this person is going into this with you as a very casual sort of situation. I feel like you need to ask if that's what you want. And if it is, then do the casual thing. But if it's not, then learn to trust yourself on what you want. I do see something happening in the future here, Leah. So what I have here is I have the Four of Wands, which for me is like that card of commitment. So I feel like commitment is coming, especially with this Hierophant here. But I feel like more so that you need to trust your intuition in this situation. What I see here is a future being manifested. So I do feel that this person possibly is going to catch feelings, but maybe they don't see that when they first meet you. Maybe you feel it, but they're in denial of it. If you're unsure, ask the questions, because I feel like somehow or another, this person is very interested in you, and certainly maybe after they get to know you, but maybe give them a little chance to get to know you better. You know, be really firm with those boundaries. Ask for what you want. I don't know why we're so scared of asking for what we want, but ask for what you want. King of Wands coming through. Okay, Two of Pentacles. Okay, that's beautiful energy. So I feel like here the King of Wands is sort of like that Sagittarius energy, but more masculine. So what the universe is saying here is you need to take on more masculine energy to front up your King of Cups. So you need to be more in that charge. Being in the masculine energy, you may be the person to ask them out on a date. Being in the masculine energy, you may be the breadwinner when they are staying home looking after the kids. So there's a masculine energy required in this particular situation. But these two cards here both talk about balance. Now, for me, the Temperance card is all about balancing mind, body, and soul. And we do have like this energy of the Two of Pentacles, which for me is always balancing the logical over the spiritual. No matter which way you go here, the universe is saying to you, have a good balance of where you're at. Logical, watching for red flags, but also enjoying yourself and being in that sort of energy of love and enjoying where you're going. But don't forget, you need to also be in this energy of the Queen of Swords, where you're asking the questions. Don't allow this person to have everything their way, I guess. Not in a negative way, not in a harsh way, but just learn to ask for what you want. Sometimes when we're really enamored by somebody, you know, when you're in that crush state, you just think, oh, it doesn't matter. Look, your dreams need a practical plan. Exactly what I'm talking about. Full moon in Taurus. But we do tend to sort of hold back a little bit because we're being overly cautious. That's our egos, just holding on a little bit. All right, sometimes you need to weave a bit of magic and sometimes you need to be practical. And sometimes you need to find a combination of the two. So that's the Two of Pentacles energy. This card suggests that where you are now, you need to use the laws of attraction to draw in what you want by imagining it, expecting it, welcoming it. But you need to balance that with taking down to steps, goals, steps towards your goals. I feel like here that this is just sort of exactly what I'm feeling here. I feel like if you want something with this person, if you want to have a relationship, if you want something long term, then you're going to have to ask if that's what they want to. And if they're not sure, then maybe you need to consider whether it's worth going. But if somebody says to you, no, I don't want the commitment, then I'd take notice of that, because I don't feel people say that if they don't mean it. All right, I'll leave you with that. Thank you for joining me, Sag. Bye.